If you do go on to enjoy today's video, do me a favour and hit that like button and of course subscribe to the channel for more daily content. Save up to 14% on coins and get an extra 5% off when you use the code TVM at checkout. Offer ends 1st of January. There are also chances to win free FUT21 coins over at u7buy.com. Link down below. What is going on, guys? TVM here. Welcome back to a brand new video. Hatem Ben Arfa was released yesterday, and oh my, is this expensive for what it is. However, I'm here to review it because I fall into a certain category of people who may want to complete this, and I'll talk you through what I think is probably 3 different categories of people there will be to complete this. So he's coming in at around 205 to 220,000 coins, there or thereabouts, depending on your platform. Which, like I said, is a lot of money to spend on... I mean, it's on a card that you can get anyway, because he does link to certain people, and he does have 5-star skills, and he has certain stats that will outshine other players, but there are an awful lot of players in this game that are similar to Ben Arfa. Not the same, similar. 5-star skills, as I mentioned. 4-star weak foot, really good. Low defensive work rate, fantastic. Medium attacking, not ideal, but because he has low defensive... he's not going to venture back at all. If you tell him to stay forward, happy days. You're not going to have to worry about him being out of position. And that's actually one of the strengths of the card. Despite the fact he's only got 82 positioning, he's actually pretty good when it comes to being in the right place at the right time. And of course, like I said before, French in the French league, links to Neymar, links to Mbappe, links to an awful lot of cards that EA tend to push out. They have some sort of fixation with French cards. I'm not quite sure why. I'm not against it because France, one of the best nations in the world in terms of footballing talent and in FIFA, and some nostalgia players like Ben Arfa. In terms of traits, unfortunately, he doesn't have any, which is a bit weird because you think he'd have flair or something like that, having 5-star skills, but it's not the end of the world. 90 acceleration, which is very good. Only the 82 sprint speed, but because the acceleration is so high, it means he'll be able to move a little bit quicker and get the ball out from under his feet just a little bit faster. Like I mentioned before, his 82 positioning on paper doesn't read very well, but in practice is actually pretty good. 79 finishing, that is probably the biggest talking point of the card besides the price. 92 shot power, 83 long shots. He's got some decent short passing and long passing at 83 and 85. His vision and curve, and arguably crossing are where his strengths lie. And then, of course, 93 dribbling, 90 composure, 88 ball control, and then 80 reactions, 87 balance, 84 agility. Physicals, it could be better, could be worse. 80 stamina is okay. Not for the position that he plays in, unfortunately, but if he was a striker, I think it'd be okay. If he was a centre-back, it would be fantastic. You get the idea. Now, where did I play him? Cam. 4-2-3-1, obviously. Blanc, Zakaria as the 2 sort of holding players. Messi on the left, Mbappe on the right. Maradona up front. And then Hatem Ben Arfa as the cam. Could use him as a striker. I don't know why, just didn't think for a second to use him as a striker. Thought, gonna put this guy in cam, use him to try and run through people, but obviously use his passing ability, the vision, to be able to slot the ball through and score some, or get some assists and score some goals at the same time. You know, bit of the both of the worlds, really. And he did that. He scored a lot of goals, set up a lot of goals. There are 3 types of people who will be looking to complete this, right? And I was trying to work this out. I was walking back to my house just a second ago, and I was thinking, right, how do I word this? That's right, I put thought into videos. I know you wouldn't believe it. I don't just press play and see what happens. You know, I do put thought into it. So the 3 types of people are those who will be looking at this card and thinking, right, he is going to be a genuine upgrade to my team. And they won't be looking at the price, they'll be looking at the amount of untradables that they have in the club, and they'll be thinking, right, he fits my team, he links to this guy, links to that guy, I can get him on full chem, or I can get him on 8 chem. And the people who maybe just haven't a bunch of untradeable stuff, right? Maybe their team isn't necessarily the best, but they have a bunch of untradeable stuff, and they're thinking to themselves, I could do this, right? The next set of people who will be looking to do it are the ones that complete everything just for the sake of completing everything. And there's no really telling those people whether this card is good or not. It doesn't matter to them whether the card is good or not. They just collect everything. And it takes a special kind of person to be able to do that. But, you know, people who maybe don't have the patience to wait for something better to come along, who just want to complete it because it's there, I understand that. And then there's the third category, and this is the category that I fall into. And it's the, I remember Ben Arfa from previous FIFAs. I've watched Ben Arfa a fair bit, you know, when he can be bothered to play. And he has sort of a stint of good football. But more than anything else, I remember him from previous FIFAs. And I remember loving him in previous FIFAs and using his skill moves. And, you know, back in FIFA 13, etc. The nostalgia. And that's what a flashback is all about. And that is the category that I fall into. And that is exactly the reason why I've done it. I've not done this for a video. Now, don't get me wrong. I've got a video out of it because we're doing a review on him. But I've done it because I wanted to sort of recapture that running through people, skilling through people, juggling through people, scoring goals with him, etc. And on top of that, he does actually link to the likes of my Depay, my Mbappe, got icons in there as well as Kante and whatever it may be. So the reason why I've done it, twofold really, does fit my team. I will use him off the bench because, you know, fun and also nostalgia. So there are definitely reasons why you'll want to pick up this card. However, there are two fundamental reasons why it will probably be a bad idea to do so. And the first of which is going to be, for 200 and something thousand coins, you can go and buy almost a full team that will, okay, maybe not necessarily have everyone that rivals this guy, but even the likes of Ousmane Dembele, for example. You know, I don't know how much he costs these days, but he's probably not expensive at all, and he is very comparable. 5-star, 5-star, in fact. He's got a better weak foot. He's got the pace to boot. I would argue that his finishing might even be a little bit better. So there are cards out there, and Mollet was free, for example. There are a couple of cards out there who were given for free who could not match, but be compared to Ben Arfa. So definitely reasons not to do it. The other, of course, is that you have better players already, so what's the point in spending that amount of coins? And it does kind of come down to, can you afford it, and why are you doing it, I suppose. The card, to speak about it in general, I like everything about it. I mean, his dribbling is very good. His skill moves are nice to use. He feels very fast. His stamina, to be fair, even though it's notable, it's not really that big a deal. This is outrageous how he manages to get his head on that above the goalkeeper, and then Messi just sort of runs it into the net. That was crazy, weird goal. But, you know, it is what it is. But no, it was fun to use. He was an awful lot of fun to use. And it might be because I remember, you know, going back through previous FIFAs, remember using him in previous FIFAs, but I've used the base card in this FIFA as well through Managerial Masterpiece, and I quite enjoyed that, and I was kind of hoping that this would come along at some point. I don't think it's very good value for coins at all, but it kind of comes down to the individual. If you're willing to pay 200,000 coins for this guy, there is no one out there who can and should tell you that you've just wasted your money, because if you're happy that you've spent 200k, like I would have paid more, in all honesty. If this was an 87 rated team, I would have stretched to it because I just wanted to play with Ben Arfa. Yes, they could have made it cheaper. Yes, I think they should have made it cheaper. I was expecting an 84 rated team with an inform, but on the other hand, I'm still willing to pay that 200 and something thousand coins to get a taste of nostalgia. And if I'm willing to pay it and I'm happy to pay it, then who's anybody else to tell me that I'm wrong for doing so? Do you know what I mean? I like the card. I don't really think it's worth the money necessarily for those who don't have that sort of emotional, sentimental attachment to Ben Arfa. If you're looking for an improvement to your team, 100% do not spend the coins or use the untradables. Wait for something else to come along, because it is going to be one of those unless you have that attachment to him. There will be something along in a few days that you'll wish you've kept your cards for, because you might as well do that instead. Does that make sense? Big fan of this card, but only because of previous FIFAs. If you have enjoyed today's review, do me a favour and hit that like button. Let me know what you think of this SBC in the comments section down below. Subscribe to the channel for new, of course, and until the next time, goodbye.
Join the Betting Rebellion and find out what your football knowledge is really worth.